Alright, so I've decided to switch things up again. By this point, I've pretty much determined that despite how much I'm eating, my weight is staying very consistent. I'm eating at a calorie surplus of around 1,000 calories or more every single day, and that doesn't seem to have any kind of bearing or impact on my weight or body composition really whatsoever. So with that said, for the next few days, I'm going to be focusing on eating intuitively while still trying to optimize the diet as much as possible. So what that means is that I'm going to be trusting my gut and trusting my intuition when it comes to meal timing and meal frequency. Because since I've been doing this optimization period, I simply haven't been hungry. I've been eating twice a day because that's what I'm used to and that's what makes me feel optimal. But my satiety level has been near 100% the entire time. So instead of forcing myself to eat 2 times a day, even though I'm not hungry, I'm going to get back to trusting my intuition and I'm going to eat only when I'm hungry. Now with that said, I'm still going to be consuming foods that are going to allow me to optimize the diet and balance out the nutrition as much as possible. So I'll basically be eating the same way I have been during this optimization period. The only difference is that I'll be eating intuitively when it comes to meal timing and meal frequency. Because this food is so nutrient dense and it's so satisfying and satiating, I'm really curious to see how far it's going to take me before I need to eat again. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and get my workout in, I'm going to hydrate, and I guess I'll catch up with you whenever I get hungry. Whatever time that ends up being. It is supper time for the pupper time. Let's see what's on the menu. Shawnee's been pretty active running around all day, so we got a pretty big spread laid out for her. So first up, we have 16 ounces of chicken leg quarter. I got this for 87 cents a pound, so this is 87 cents. Next up, I have 5 ounces of turkey neck. I got this for $2.09 from a local butcher shop, so 5 ounces is 65 cents. I have some beef scraps here. I got this for $2.99 a pound at my local butcher shop, so 3 ounces is 57 cents. I have 2 ounces of shaved venison, which is 100% free because I sourced this myself. I have 4 ounces of chicken gizzards. I get this for $1.29 a pound. 4 ounces is 32 cents. I have 3 ounces of chicken feet, aka 2 chicken feet. I get these for $2.24 a pound. 3 ounces is 42 cents. And as always, hiding in the back here, I have 1 cup of bone broth, which is also 100% free because I make this myself. So the total weight for everything that you see here is 33 ounces. And the total cost is $2.83. And that breaks down to $1.37 a pound. So is the carnivore diet affordable? I think the obvious answer to that question is that it's as affordable as you make it. Alright, so obviously something's off because the dog's eating before I've had my first meal. And that is because I've been satiated and satisfied all day long. I am just now at 8:30 in the evening starting to feel an inkling of hunger. And it is very subtle, but it's still hunger, so I'm gonna eat. 10 ounces of wild-caught salmon fillet, skin on. 4 ounces of mussels. 4 ounces of pork kidney. 14 ounces of 75-25 local ground beef. 5 ounces of beef fat trimmings. 3 ounces of cheddar cheese. 1 ounce of Tillamook cream cheese. Half a stick of organic butter. 4 tablespoons, and 4 pasture-raised egg yolks. So the total weight for all this food, everything that you see here, is 49 ounces. Alright, so this is quite a bit. I should be able to get through it all. I'm going to give it my best shot, and we'll see what happens. Alright, this looks absolutely fantastic. Smells even better. Cannot wait to dig into this. Alright, dinner is served. This is my attempt at trying to optimize with a single meal. Obviously, I'm doing OMAD today. I don't know how this is going to turn out, but I'm hoping I got everything pretty close to my RDA. But before I dig into this, let's talk about cost. If you go back and watch day 15, I did go over the grocery haul in that video, and that's all the foods I'm including in this optimization period, so you can see how much each one of those cost. But the total cost for this meal, 3 pounds of food, is $10.87. But if you combine this meal with my dog's, her meal was $2.83. The total for the entire day came out to $13.70. Now the total weight between my food and her food was 82 ounces, so that's 5.12 pounds. So that's quite a bit of food for just over $13. I got through every single scrap and morsel of that meal, so that was a successful OMAD. It was a lot of food, but surprisingly, I'm not overly stuffed and I feel very satisfied and satiated, so that is a very big plus. So now tomorrow, I guess I'll find out how far this food is going to take me, how long it takes for me to get hungry. I expect it to be probably most of the day based off how I feel now, but I guess we'll find out tomorrow. All right, so let's get right into the nutritional breakdown. Just a quick update. I weighed myself again this morning. I was 168.4. All right, so this entire time I'm on day 26. I simply have not gained or lost a single pound. The first couple weigh-ins, I was right at about 170, and since then I've been hovering between 168 and 170 the entire time, despite eating at a calorie surplus of about 1,000 calories or more every single day for 26 days. But for today, my total calories consumed is 3,747 calories in that single meal. So that put me at a calorie surplus of 1,164 calories for the day. So my fat to protein ratio for the day, I got 68% of my calories from fat and 30% of my calories from protein. But I'm right back on track with a 70-30 split, which is what is optimal for me. That's what I gravitate towards, so I'm totally happy with that. All right, total protein consumed 270 grams, total fat consumed 284 grams. The protein is actually in a very optimal range today for somebody my size and that's active and works out. Vitamin C, so I was trying to optimize vitamin C as much as I possibly could in that single meal, and I guess I did a pretty decent job of that considering not adding that many organs in there. And pretty much all that vitamin C came from the pork kidney and the mussels I consumed. So I got 30% of my RDA. In the absence of carbohydrates and sugars, your nutritional requirement for vitamin C goes way down, as vitamin C doesn't have to compete with glucose for absorption. So all that vitamin C I got should be pretty easily utilized by my body. Iron, I was at 3.75 times my RDA, so I'm good on iron. B12, 24.8 times my RDA. High iron and B12 always makes sense because red meat in particular and organs are very high in those two things. Calcium, 101%. Folate, 97%. I am very happy with that. That is pretty much right at my RDA, so no issues there. Very, very optimal range for vitamin A. I got 1.39 times my RDA. Potassium, 92%. Again, very optimal range. One of the reasons why I added in 2 salmon fillets tonight was to bump up my potassium and my vitamin E, which we'll get to in a minute. All right, going on down the list, all my B vitamins are at or above my RDA, so I'm good on every single one of those. Vitamin D, 200%. Again, that's another reason why I added in fatty fish, was to bring my vitamin D up. Vitamin E, like I just mentioned, is another reason why I added in fatty fish, and I am at 1.15 times my RDA, so that worked out very, very well for vitamin E as well. As I've mentioned in pretty much all these videos, Chronometer does a very poor job at tracking vitamin K, so I did the math on the vitamin K I consumed, and I was right at 75% between the beef, eggs, cheese, and kidney. So 75% is a pretty optimal range. As always, I will put a link in the description to the website that has all the information about vitamin K. So if you run into this problem, you can go on there and run your own calculations. Copper, I got 2.5 times my RDA, so I'm good there. That's a pretty optimal range for copper. Magnesium, I'm very happy with this. I got 76% of my RDA in magnesium at 317 milligrams out of 420. And I can rest assured knowing that the magnesium I'm getting from those foods is going to be very easily utilized by my body because it's not coming from plants, so there's no anti-nutrients there. Manganese, I got 3.5 times my RDA. Pretty much all that came from the mussels I consumed. I'm very happy with that as well. Phosphorus, 4.2 times my RDA. I'm good there. Selenium, I got 13.5 times my RDA. So selenium is a little on the high side, but most of that came from the kidney and the mussels I consumed. So selenium's a little on the high side, but most of that came from the kidney and the seafood I consumed. Sodium, I got 1.6 times my RDA. I'm good there. I just salt my food to taste. Zinc, 3.74 times my RDA, so I'm good there. Animal products tend to have ample amounts of zinc, which is very essential for human health, so that's fantastic. All right, moving on down the list. Lipids, fats, cholesterol. I got 2,119 grams of cholesterol today, which I'm good with. Cholesterol is very essential for the human body. I got 1.67 times my RDA on omega-3 at 2.7 grams out of 1.6, and I got 36% of my omega-6 at 6.1 grams out of 17. So I'm very happy with this because omega-3 tends to be more anti-inflammatory. It is very essential for brain function, hormone function, and just your overall well-being, whereas omega-6 can be a little more pro-inflammatory. So I'm actually very happy about getting more omega-3 in terms of RDA than omega-6. Saturated fat, 130 grams. Trans fat, 10 grams. Again, I'm good with all these fats as long as they're coming from animal products and not seed oils. They're very essential for the human body. All right, going down the list here, proteins and essential amino acids. I never expect this to be any different, and it never is. Just like every single day, I'm at or well above my RDA on every single one of these. And that always makes sense because animal products, meat, eggs, they're all very complete protein sources. So all in all, for a OMAD, for a 1 meal a day, I am extremely happy with where I'm at on nutrition for this meal. The only nutrient that was on the lower end of the spectrum was vitamin C. Vitamin K and magnesium were about 25% short. I could have easily brought those on up there with a little bit more food. Vitamin C would have been quite a bit harder to bring up there. It could have been done, but I would have had to add in quite a bit more organs, and that wasn't going to be optimal for me tonight. There's no way I would have ate that much food if I added that many more organs in there. So overall, this is very, very nutritionally complete for a single meal. And in terms of calories and actual volume of food, I'm well above what was recommended for my daily intake. So this meal should be more than enough to sustain me for at least a day. I don't expect to get hungry anytime soon, that's for sure. And I'm going to continue this trend tomorrow. I'm only going to eat when I'm hungry, and I'm going to try to optimize whatever meals I have to the best of my abilities. But that's going to do it for me. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. If you haven't done so already, be sure to like, subscribe, join the Apex Tribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of the future videos in the series. And I'll see you on day 27. All right, peace out.